author of Whole Grain Artisan Chips and Crackers. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple cracker, even though in this book I have a couple dozen recipes of more complex crackers with many kinds of flours. And the final chapter will tell you so many ideas for recipes you'll never need to make them the same way twice. But today let's start with a very simple cracker that will cost you about $1/4 to make, and it's far better than anything you could ever pay 10 times as much for in the store. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm going to show you what equipment you'll need. Obviously a mixing bowl, some kind of measuring cup for the water, another measuring cup to measure the flour with, some measuring spoons for spices, a spatula to eventually score the crackers, and a timer so you don't burn them. And most important, some kind of silicone mat. Nothing sticks to these. They clean in seconds, they last for years. And this is a half-sheet baking pan size. This is a half-sheet baking pan. And here's some final pieces of equipment you'll need. Some kind of sealable storage container so that your crackers will last at least a month or more. All right, now it's time to actually make some crackers. You'll be amazed how simple it is. And after I've shown you how, I'll put the recipe up so you can note it down. First, you'll just need 2/3 cup of whole wheat flour, then you'll need a pinch of salt in case you find yourself eating them plain, which you probably will. That'll make them taste better, but you don't have to, because if you're having cheese or dips, you won't need any salt. Then, I'm keeping them simple. I'm just going to put in black pepper, but you can use any of your favorite spices. 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon is good for something like this. Just put in 1/4 teaspoon. And finally, let's add a tablespoon of black sesame seeds to make the texture more appealing, as well as the flavor and nutrition. But you could use any kind of seed: flaxseed, white sesame seed, poppy seed, chia. And we'll mix them all well together. Now it's time to add the 3/4 cup of water to the 2/3 cup of whole wheat flour, salt, pepper, and sesame seeds. I want to mix it very thoroughly, get all the lumps out, make sure that there's no hidden flour on the bottom that's still dry. I'm trying to get a texture sort of like a pancake batter, perhaps even more watery than that, because I want it to just pour out onto the mat so that I can tip the baking pan around and spread it. But I don't want it so watery I lose all control. That looks pretty good to me. You can see it's really quite watery. Now I'm going to pour the batter out and spread it on the mat. You can see how I'm tilting the pan, trying to get it to all the edges, but not wanting to get it on the metal part itself, although it's no big deal if you do. And then when I can't tip it anymore with great accuracy, I'm going to just spread it out with the spatula like this. and then jiggle it a bit to fill in those. If there's any areas where there's holes, you don't actually need to fill them in, but you can. And so I've jiggled it a little bit to even it out. And then maybe I'll just scatter some of the last bit of batter that's in here on top. And now I'm going to bake the batter for 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes, and now I've taken them out of the oven because it's time to score them into the actual crackers. You can make them any size you like. Just gently push the spatula through the batter to make whatever size you'd like. Now I'm going to bake them another 20 minutes. Okay, the 20 minutes is up, and now I'm going to turn the oven off and just let them sit in there for another 30 minutes, and then we'll go check on them. Okay, let's see if they're ready. If there's any that aren't done, they're likely to be in the center. The ones around the edges are almost always finished. These look good to me. They're sort of raised off. If they were still sort of stuck, you would know as you lifted it up it would kind of stick. Well, then it's definitely not done. I've picked this one on the middle up. I sense no moisture on my fingertips. If for some reason your crackers weren't ready, this isn't rocket science. You're just trying to bake all the water out. So set a timer for 5 minutes. Reset the oven temperature a little bit lower to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Stick the crackers back in, and when the timer goes off, turn the oven off, wait another half hour and test them again. And now for the critical test. The proof is in the crunch. I'm going to have my husband, Jeffrey Kahn, test one out to make sure it's ready. Jeffrey, want a cracker? To crunch.
To crunch. Another fantastic bunch.